But like you guys had like 2-3 days with Haitian Jack. I mean, I don't even know how you guys got Haitian Jack. Like we were all talking about that shit.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was pretty amazing.
That was the selling point to me. I was like, Jackie's on this. I'm watching this for sure.
It's great. I'm glad you guys point Jack out in particular because he's such a mysterious figure in hip hop, right? All hip hop heads heard that name. And they have no idea who the guy is, and there's this great mystique to him, right? Yeah. And I remember before we started shooting, and we were still trying to like just line everything up. We were in a meeting, and I remember when Big U got Jack on the phone, and then he gave me the phone, and I'm talking on the phone to Jack, and I was like. I was engaged in the conversation, but at the same time in my head, I was like, I'm really on the fucking phone with Haitian Jack. This is crazy. You know what I mean?
So really quick for our listeners who don't know anything about Haitian Jack, you know, the rumor or the shit that's on the street or that everyone talks about is Haitian Jack was responsible for Tupac's first shooting, right? In the studio in New York. The Quad Studios in New York.
Yeah.
That's the rumor.
And what you find out in the doc is basically his version of the story, his response to the rumor. Like, he's a real street dude. You know what I mean? Like, and street dudes ain't really talking, right? But like, here we are 25, 26 years later, whatever it is. And, you know, I really can't thank him enough for deciding to open up for us and really everyone on the series. I
want to go back to Haitian Jack, and I want to ask something because, you know, this is me. This is my opinion, right? This is from me watching the series, right? I got like a really like chilling feeling watching him. Like I was watching a sociopath. You know what I mean? Like because
don't say nothing that's gonna get you in trouble, man.
No, he's still alive. He's still alive, Kirk.
I'm not.
He still got people in the streets.
Oh, wait.
Check on the phone.
Yeah, no,
how you doing, man?
He's a good dude, bro. He's an inquisitive guy.
Yo, I'm not going to DR anytime soon, so I'm good.
Get us all in trouble.
I'm not going to DR.
I don't know who this guy is.
Listen, man, I'm a big fan of yours, man.
Yeah. So wait. So I got the last time I had that feeling watching somebody like that was the Cocaine Cowboys documentary. I don't know if you remember that. And there was a hitman for Griselda Blanco, right? I forgot his name. It was like Jorge Ayala, right? And this dude smiled a lot in the camera, was really charismatic, but there was an essence of him like he had no empathy or remorse for anything, like a life, whether it was a child's life, a woman's life, anyone's life was just like, you know, it is what it is. They're just a number. And it was like, and the thing is, they're so charismatic and we never see that other side because they're so good at hiding it, or I don't know what it is that they can kind of live life with like no accountability or like no, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's one of those things when I was watching Haitian Jack, I was like, oh my God, this guy, like, he's really charismatic and it's scary, but I'm wondering if there was ever a slight instance or an incident while you were filming where you're like, yo, this motherfucker's a killer. Like this motherfucker's ill as fuck. Like, we have to like just kind of get a little goosebumpy when he was speaking.
Rob. Help me, Rob.
I'm kidding, Rob. I'm not going to do that to you. I'm kidding. I would say that for us,
right.
Jack was nothing but a gentleman, right?
Right.
We didn't spend a whole lot of time with him. We were with him for like about 5 days. And while we were there for 5 days, we were just constantly shooting, not just him, but like just trying to capture the essence of the Dominican Republic.
Right.
To answer your question, there's definitely was a moment in the interview where he got extremely heated about Suge Knight. He felt really strongly that Suge basically put Tupac up to talking shit about him on a record. Right.
Yeah, Machiavelli.
Yeah.
And maybe if that was his instinct, he maybe thought that, but how could you ever know that? But then one of his boys runs into Suge in the airport, and Suge sort of sends the message to him like, "Hey, tell Jack I made him famous." And so Jack is like, well, "What the fuck does that mean? I didn't ask to be famous." You know what I'm saying? And that, I guess, confirmed it in his mind. So I think when he talked about that, which didn't make it into the series, when he talked about that, he was very passionate and seemed, it was something that bothered him. You know what I mean? And in that moment, I probably was like, holy shit. Right. You might ask, well, why isn't it in the series? It's a dance, right? When you're trying to tell a story and you're telling stories of real people's lives, right? These are real people with families and connections and all of that. And one thing that we were very clear about when we were making it was we just wanted to be responsible filmmakers, in that the slightest little thing could be said and then shit could happen in the street. And then it's like, that feels shitty. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about that. Rob's not about that. Nobody on our team is about that. Like, we're trying to tell authentic stories, but we're not trying to be messy. While we understood, hey man, that shit is electric, there was another part of us that was like, well, fuck, is that responsible? Is that cool? Is that going to be a prop? You know what I mean? And you can tune into my site, harperville.com, when I revamp it, and I might have that up there.
Nice.
So even without having that portion in there, you could feel his energy and you could feel his emotion when he was speaking of Suge and when he was speaking about Pac, and how he really had love for Pac, and he felt like Suge completely just misguided Tupac into a direction of talking shit about him. And it was sad because I was a youngster at that time, and I remember hearing Machiavelli, and to us, like, Haitian Jack was a ghost. Like, no one knew who he was. No one knew what he looked like. We were like, who is this dude? To see him telling a story actually on the screen was just kind of like, is this real? You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy, man. Just watching that shit was crazy.
Finally, there's a visual of this dude that I've been hearing about forever.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I noticed, he didn't really confirm or deny about the Tupac shooting.
His perspective is he didn't have shit to do with Quad Studio. That's what the internet said. The rumors said that he had something to do with it. But his position is he didn't have anything to do with it.
I'll add, like, he's a very charismatic guy. And when we went there, it was a trip because I don't think, like, Big U and Bimmy hadn't seen him in a while. So there was, like, two things happening. It's like you're filming Bigfoot, basically, like and then all these G's are, reuniting and stuff, but a very charismatic guy. But yeah, in the back of your mind, you're like, something else is going on. And he's got a history, he probably, was a stick up, you know what I mean? But sharp dresser, and, he took us to some cool places in the DR, so big up Haitian Jack.
If you want to check the full episode of this clip, click the video on the left. Or if you'd like to continue watching more road clips, click the video on the right. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page and get updated on new clips and videos from Road Podcast throughout the week. Peace.